Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's UK 2030 campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. Climate change, plastic in the oceans, food and water shortages, these are the recent buzzwords that paint the portrait of our dystopian future. But do the headlines which forecast Armageddon tell us the whole truth? I'm talking to Ian Conn, Group CEO of Centrica, to explore the challenges and opportunities. Good morning.
Good morning.
So why should businesses care about decarbonisation?
I don't think it's just businesses that should care about it. Civil society, governments and businesses working together are going to be the solution. And why should we care? Because carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are seriously damaging our ability to control temperature, which in turn is going to cause some very dramatic impacts long run. There's another effect of this, which is the acidification of the oceans, which is also going to damage food chains. And just to give you some numbers, as we all know, we're trying to get to below 2 degrees C of temperature increase versus pre-industrial levels. And right now we're heading for 3.1 to 3.5, which is going to cause huge damage.
Okay, so given that, what kind of technology exists at the moment to enable consumers to reduce their consumption?
In heat and power, the solution is going to be something to do with energy efficiency. Then it's going to be the reduction in CO2 from power generation, which we've made a lot of progress through the decarbonisation of the system, with coal moving off and natural gas taking its place. Nuclear, where it's permitted, is also important. And then finally, the progressive implementation of renewables. And in transport, it's all about, again, energy efficiency first, and then hybridization, and then electrification of transport. The reason I start there is both of them start with energy efficiency. The best new technology that we can find is helping people use less energy, and that may be surprising from someone who also sells energy. For consumers, to your question, therefore, it's about giving them the tools and insights necessary to use less energy with the activity they've got. The technologies that are now available for consumers are obviously rooftop solar, but batteries are now being developed for homes that help people store electricity, to thermostatic control of your homes in a much more accurate way, which is one of the things we help people do, to controlling your home from away from your home through your phone so that you can really fine-tune it and not use energy where you don't need to. And lastly, things like smart metering, which allow people to get insight into how they're using energy and learn how to change their behavior. These are all the things that help consumers use less energy. The biggest thing is if you can give customers, whether they're a business customer or a consumer, a real solution. If you take business customers, and we're sitting in one of our offices here, and just outside the window, we've installed numerous electric vehicle charge points backed up by 5 megawatt batteries so that when everyone comes into work and starts charging their vehicles, that we can actually handle that. And we're doing solutions like that for business customers, along with combined heat and power units, which are much more efficient, to solar arrays on the rooftops of buildings, and then energy management systems to help people control it all. And finally, something that's really growing is demand response, where people turn down their energy use when prices get tight so that they use less, and therefore we don't need as much central generation. All of these things are what help customers reduce their carbon footprint.
Tell us a little bit more about Centrica and the role you play in this solution.
So the first of 3 pillars of our strategy is to help our customers reduce their carbon footprint in line with the Paris Accord goals. And to do that, our customers are going to have to, by 2030, have lowered their CO2 emissions by 25%. We can measure that we will directly help them reduce 3 percentage points of that 25%, and indirectly through advice and and innovation and artificial intelligence, we can help them potentially do more. And obviously that's for the consumer, for business customers. The middle pillar of the three is about decarbonizing the energy system. And this means big batteries and technology to optimize the system, such as blockchain technology that allows the energy system at the edge of the grid to be optimized. All of this will help the energy system be lower carbon and introducing more and more low carbon technology. And then the third pillar is our own emissions. And what we've got to do is make sure that our own emissions are coming down in line with the Paris goals. We've reduced our own emissions by 80% in the last decade, and we now have a target for the 10 years to 2025 to reduce them by another 35%. So we're playing our part, we're helping to decarbonize the system, and we're helping our customers lower their carbon footprint.
So for people watching this video, what three key takeaways would you like them to have?
Look, the first thing I would say is that this is about civil society, government and business all working together and internationally. That can seem hugely daunting, but every single person, through the choices we make, can make a difference in this area. And there are now real technologies to help you, and they're at accessible costs, such as our Hive, for example, and it makes a real difference. So I would say, firstly, we can all play our part and don't leave it up to big business or big government only, because we can all make a difference. The second thing that I would say is that this decade that we're in now, out to say 2025, is the time for material action. And we need to innovate around it. There are new technologies coming in. We need to drive the costs of those down. And society should demand that governments enable such things and that the money is made available to innovate and research and then deploy such technology. And look, the third thing I would ask people to take away is just the simple fact that in our own way in Centrica, we are contributing to this. And we hope that we will make and are committed to make a big difference to our customers, to decarbonizing the energy system and to reducing our own emissions. And together, we're all going to make this happen. So, am I optimistic? I am optimistic because the world is a pragmatic place and human ingenuity is extraordinary. But we are going to have to innovate at scale, and this global conversation that the IPCC is trying to engineer requires some further collaboration between the growing economies and the established ones if we're really going to do this.
Well, let's hope that we can feel optimistic about the future. There's a huge task ahead, but it's been really interesting to find out how we can all play our part, whether we are governments, consumers, or energy providers. It's been fascinating finding out more. Ian Conn from Centrica, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.